A man has a rather big problem in a small room. His lights are turning on and off on their own, and he can't figure out why. Across from him is a light switch that he is standing nowhere near. Not that pressing the light switch makes much of a difference. The light keeps turning on and off in rhythmic intervals regardless, like something's trying to communicate to him its presence. After 5 minutes, it finally stops through no doing of its own, and it never happens again. He shows every wall except the one to his immediate left, so perhaps a second person is standing by a dimmer switch to fake this video. But what's weird is how, almost 2 years ago to the very day, he caught something on camera that was bizarre. A door that kept opening on its own.
Interesting and the rest was a bit stilted and a bit uncomfortable, so give it 6.
No one is visible on the other side of the door when it oddly opens. Like the lights, the door only did this for a single day and never again. Was a ghost to blame? If you're eating grapes right now, step away from the bunch. Published by Sam Turner in September of 2015. A close-up of this grape bunch shows that something is growing on it, and that something is hatching.
Oh my lord. Oh my, it's Ah!
A spider is literally crawling out of the grapes these people purchased from a chain grocery store. The grapes were packaged in plastic. There appears to be a web wrapped around the vine, and the yellow sac spider crawls out of it. Several people in the comments say they found the same thing in their grapes from various grocery stores. Some commenters implied that supermarket staff were somehow responsible. But Pika Pika writes, the grocery store doesn't just insert a free spider. Grapes are scary. It doesn't matter where they're from. I had baby spiders crawling out of my grapes along with supposed mothers. Moral of the story, don't eat expletive grapes. Or I'll add to that, just be mindful when you do.
Spider. Oh my. That's a spider crawling out of our grape.
So years ago, I analyzed a creepy video of a mysterious handprint found in this family's haunted home in a hard-to-reach area really high up in the corner above the stairs. Years later, their house still appears to be haunted as ever.
This wall has since been painted, and the exact same print is still there.
Okay, so the wall does in fact look to be painted a different color. The original video has a yellow wall and now it's gray. It's the same distance from the ceiling and has the same impossibly long fingers extending from an oblong palm, more like the paw print of a creature than that of a human. So I guess the work of a demon is not out of the question. With that said, I guess they could have stenciled the handprint and recreated it over the new paint job, but that seems like a lot of work and there should be some mistakes. The handprint in the two videos looks nearly identical to me, and therefore I think this follow-up video is probably paranormal. And judging from their evidence, it looks like this paranormal entity, ghost, demon, whatever you want to call it, is not going to stop haunting their home anytime soon. Being a pilot can seem like a glamorous job, but sometimes it's downright terrifying. YouTuber DonMCL1 published this video in October of 2006. The clip shows a jet taking off from a runway, but soon sirens start sounding off, while the aircraft's nose points skyward.
T6NL. T6NL.
Lots of talk back and forth over the radio is indecipherable. The nose then pans sideways, clearly indicating the aircraft is out of control. Over the radio, you can hear someone mention engine failure.
T6NL.
I'm ready. Okay.
Right before someone says eject, eject, eject as the nose of the plane turns downward.
Eject, eject, eject. Liking at 2, copy your brake out to the north.
Shortly after, the plane nosedives and the footage scrambles. While the description of this video doesn't reveal much about the incident, Kiwi Jet Pilot in the comments section appears to be quite knowledgeable about what happened here. First off, he clears up the description of the plane, saying it's not an F-16 but a Canadian-flown British-built BAE Hawk. He states that this occurred in May of 2004 in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, during a UK Royal Air Force crew training mission, but this video shows they survived by the skin of their teeth. A little too close for comfort. Robert Reddick has been waiting 2 weeks for this day to come, but now the deep web box has finally arrived and he is incredibly nervous. He contemplates not opening the box at all at first. Then Robert calls over some friends and the three of them dive in. The first thing they notice is a weird stain on the inside of the box, followed by an impossibly pungent smell that nearly bowls them over. They put on some gloves and keep going. Tucked beneath some bubble wrap are 2 handwritten letters that say "I'm sorry" repeatedly. A third letter says a single word, Shinigami, which I looked up the meaning of. This is the name for ancient supernatural creatures who were thought to shepherd humans to the afterlife in Japan mythology. There's a lot of weird stuff left to pick through, like a fishbowl that's filled with a bunch of thumbtacks and a single red lighter. There's also a 4th note waiting inside.
It is now your turn. Bury, don't burn. It is now you who is cursed. They wish you the worst. And then another "I'm sorry" now.
What are they talking about here? Boys.
I'm skipping past some items here, but eventually they come across a blank letter at the bottom of the box with a rather creepy hidden message.
Stop well. Stop well. You can. It says stop while you can.
Stop while you can.
They do not heed the warning and eventually happen upon a large plastic bag with something decomposing inside. It's hard to say whether these are just props or a true deep web mystery waiting to be unraveled. I think the 3 friends appear very creeped out by the end of the video, so it's probably real. But I'd like to know what you think of their reactions. Don't let Randonautica take you to just any random place, or you might live to regret it. This video is a prime example of why.
Alright, going randonauting, and it took us to this shady park in the middle of nowhere, so let's see what we find.
I came across it on a Vietnamese YouTube channel. After doing some digging, I was able to track down the original source to the TikTok account at Haley_AIG. Watch this next part closely. Did you see it? Something just peeked out from behind that tree, but that's not all. After the group crosses the bridge, they see the nightmare girl plain as day.
I think we have to go over this bridge, and our location's a little down there. What the
That would be enough to make me abandon this Randonautica mission, which the team actually considers doing.
what the should we keep going?
But they don't, and then this happens.
What, is she following us?
Although we can safely assume this is expertly composed fiction, that doesn't mean my soul didn't leave my body while watching this. ILMN Bono Paranormal goes exploring an abandoned factory that has become a haunted place, full of many ghost sightings ever since an accident cost several workers their lives 60 years ago. Soon they discover firsthand exactly how paranormal this place truly is.
Tady taková, nic a tady... Ne.
12 days later, he returns for more.
Můžeš mi dát nějaké znamení, že tu jsi? The big hole is there and... No way. Some, no! Wait.
He says he's done, but he doesn't mean it. Everyone keeps begging for him to go back, and so 6 days later he returns for his final paranormal exploration at the haunted abandoned factory.
You heard it. There is something.
When you go back and look again, it does look like a shadow figure is caught on tape.
Oh my god! Did you see that? Of course it's not here anymore. I don't know if you saw that, but it was standing right here.
Standing just around the corner is a patch of darkness that is brighter than the rest. Was it a ghost sighting or somebody standing around the corner? Based on the other paranormal activity he's caught on camera, I think we all know the answer to this real ghost sighting. This footage was supposedly taken by a 911 caller and later edited to include his actual 911 call. The caller starts out by saying he's hearing some strange noises in his basement.
Yeah, I think there's somebody in my house right now. We're going to dispatch an officer right now. Can you tell me what happened? What happened was I was hearing some strange noises coming from my basement. Okay. I decided to go down there and see what it was, and I think I saw someone standing in the corner over there. Okay.
And this ghostly basement sighting is what supposedly caused him to make the call. Look closely, and you will see that this does appear to be a shadowy figure from another time period. I personally see someone from the Victorian age, perhaps a woman with a large dress and oversized hat. He runs upstairs and makes the call after seeing her. Then again, if this video was real, then I don't know how he would have gotten a copy of his own 911 call. I could be wrong, but I think those are private records and generally unobtainable. There are also sound effects that are obviously put over the video once he sees the ghost, so maybe this is just a prank after all. It could be computer effects or even a mannequin. A reminder that you never know what or who is behind you. This short clip will have you looking over your shoulder. The video shows a man entering a small elevator. A ghostly woman enters slightly behind him. You can see her in the mirror, distracted on his phone. The man doesn't seem to notice he has company, but when he turns around, the woman has vanished. He is alone in the lift, or at least appears to be. Those in the comments are dying to know where the phantom stalker went, and whether or not this man made it out of the elevator. I hope he's alright, but it's really not looking like that's the case. While at their friend's mountain house, this party found a series of tiny handprints on the door. The only problem? They match none of their hands. THAXTJ2 published this mysterious video to YouTube. Let's have a look.
Whose little handprint?
I don't know!
Oh my god.
On the door. They're tiny!
We have a ghost.
And wait, they both go the same way.
We have a ghost.
But no, she went.
The prints are very small, even child-sized.
They're tiny!
The YouTuber writes that none of their hands were wet either. So what created these marks? Seems to me like yet another child ghost. I'm starting to think this place is haunted. A devious Dora doll goes exploring this house in a freaky paranormal way. The moving figurine is caught on camera doing some really weird things that probably weren't advertised on the back of the box. Creepy stuff like this. According to the uploader of this video, there were no batteries in this doll when Dora turns to face the camera like she's been caught. You must pay attention, but as one person pointed out, you can see the doll slowly turning its head for about 13 seconds before it snaps. The little girl is too busy singing to notice what's going on, or maybe she's used to it happening by now. Then again, maybe there is somebody behind the door holding the doll in such a way that we can't see their hand. Tussauds. There's nothing more uncanny than wax figures. YouTube team Paranormal Voyages investigates the famous Madame Tussauds in Las Vegas, and what they find may not be wax at all. While touring the place at night, this unsettling EVP is heard. To me, that sounds mechanical, but then this happens.
Did you stop the video recorder?
Perhaps some of these wax figures are coming to life and they do not wish to be filmed. In the darkness, they somehow appear even creepier. They keep interfering with the team's devices, this time sending a clear message. You don't have to tell me twice. I'm out of there. Number 10. Apartment. If your apartment is this haunted, it's time to pack up and leave. This creepy investigation by YouTuber Seeker of Ghosts reveals some extreme poltergeist activity. It starts with the chimes. Then the poltergeist moves on to this cup. A moment later, a stool moves. Later, the TV turns on by itself. This is shortly followed by the kitchen door closing on its own. Apparently, this ghost doesn't know if he wants in or out. It's not clear what decision he eventually made, but it's clear to me that this place is really haunted. And the result is this scary video that I wish wasn't so scary. Don't look now. A remote shanty house in the middle of nowhere. It's gotta be abandoned, right? Posted to r/ghosts by Livid Excuse 1640. This video reminds every paranormal explorer to be always on their guard. The Redditor is driving down a dirt road at night in what appears to be the boonies with no lights around apart from a faint, distant glow. And yet in the middle of nowhere they come upon a rundown white house. It's dark and clearly abandoned, or so you think, as the Redditor drives slowly past, shining a flashlight onto the house. He spotlights its empty and broken windows, nothing else. That is, until he zooms in on a center window. Here appears a white hooded figure without discernible features. The realization of what they're seeing scares them enough to drop their camera and drive away, while many Redditors in the comments believe the figure is a squatter, rather than a ghost. This sighting at an assumedly abandoned house would be unsettling regardless. The Redditor writes in the comments, "I've been in the house once and it's like the people living there just up and left clothes in closets, dishes in the sink, toys on the floor. It was wild. I got halfway down the hallway and something that felt like pure evil came over me and I ran back out." He also shares some still photos with varying exposures that he took from the clip. What do you see in the Rorschach ink blot? This is only a test. The last thing you'd want for your Burger King chicken nuggets is a ghost playing with them. But we don't always get what we want. YouTuber Karaoke Batman shares this security footage of a supposed phantom playing around in this Burger King kitchen. Watch behind the worker.
There we go. Oh my god, like...
Something threw a basket of chicken nuggets from the counter behind him. Watch again closely.
Oh my god, like...
Since we can't see where the basket of nuggets fell from, I don't know if it simply toppled over or if some mysterious being threw it. I think we'd need further evidence of ghostly activity to draw any sort of conclusion on this one. Maddie and Elijah are ghost hunting with a guide named Eric in an old asylum that has over 80 rooms of horror to investigate. Let's talk about this door. They think somebody scratched at it for hours, and I think that's what it looks like, but I seriously hope it's termites. To support their theory, these scratches at 10 minutes and 55 seconds do look like someone took their nails to the wall, as well in a fit of madness. Later, they hear this distant moan. I definitely think this sounds like a person, but let me know if you can think of some other explanation.
So that's it.
What the f? Did you hear that?
No.
So that's creepy, but what I want to talk about more than anything is what happens after Elijah makes the mistake of holding a haunted bridal doll. This crazy noise is the spirit's response to being asked what her name is. It sounds wicked and definitely like nothing I'd want to be in the same room as. Even Eric admits he has never heard such a harsh EVP come from that doll before in all his experience as a tour guide, and he also says nobody has ever touched her before, so I think it's real. And as further proof, look what happens when the doll is asked if she's upset about being touched.
Are you mad that Elijah came in and touched the bride?
Judging by this paranormal ripple effect of negative energy caught on camera, I'd say yes, she was. The next time you look into your baby monitor, you might find an unnerving guardian angel. That's what happened to a friend of XXBlazinXX who posted this clip to the Chills Narrator subreddit. The Redditor writes in the comments, "A friend of mine had recently put her child to bed, and she has gone through every single thought of how to justify this figure, but it looks like a little child walking in and around the crib. By the time log on the baby monitor, you can see it's around 9:40 p.m. and if you look closely, you'll catch a ghost white shadow figure walk around the back of the crib as the baby sleeps on. The figure creeps around one side of the crib before pacing back to the head of the crib and coming slightly around the other side. Then it moves back. At the end of the clip, it appears most visible, leaving its sential spot, probably in order to make itself a sandwich. What was this phantom caretaker doing? Do you think it's a friendly guardian, or does the babysitter have evil intent? Whatever the case, safeguard that baby. It's better to be safe than sorry." A British YouTuber named Joe Weller learns from his friend Elliot of a haunted schoolhouse nearby that was built in the 1800s. They agree to go in the middle of the night to make it all the more legitimate and scary. This place is abandoned, and yet there's a black gap where the curtain's been particularly drawn back, just enough for someone to peek through. Or maybe this is a shadow person leaning out. Joe wants to turn around before the sight of barbed wire, but Elliot convinces him to jump over and go inside. Someone must have really wanted to keep people out of here, or maybe it's to keep something contained within. They walk around the back way and ivy is creeping along the walls, so nobody lives here. But wait, someone's at the window, a pale ghost girl. While over a dozen people see her, can you? And when he shines his light on it, it's gone. Late night CCTV footage has caught a possibly real ghost sighting at this YouTuber's place of work. Out of the shadows emerges a mysterious pale apparition that seems to briefly look into the room as it walks back into the shadows. It wears a white dress with an extra small waist that was popular during the 1800s. The uploader later found out this place used to be an old Victorian orphanage, so the look of the ghost does coincide with the history of the haunted building. Whether or not you believe him will determine how eerie this footage is. I believe him though. Reddit user Pentax25 says that his dad captured something rather unnerving on his porch camera late at night on a breezy April evening. The OP says he has no idea what exactly was captured and is in need of second opinions. Take a look at this piece of footage and make sure your volume is up relatively high. That's chilling. I just wasn't expecting that scream there. That was absolutely terrifying. Really caught me off guard. Especially just that one lone scream in the middle of the night. And apparently something else is also captured here. Right there, just those very faint whispers. So that's just absolutely bizarre, this whole video between that one scream, and I know the usual explanation when it comes to these screams is, oh, it's like a fox or some sort of animal. What really I think makes this video terrifying is that that can't be the case, because there's also these very distinct whispers heard. But obviously that scream is by far just the scariest part of this video. Let's play that back one more time. Just absolutely terrifying. And there are the whispers. The video goes on for about another full minute after the last sound can be heard, but sadly, or luckily depending on how you look at it, no other sounds can be heard afterward. Opinions on what was making these terrifying noises are divided, with some saying that it could just be something simple like a fox roaming around late at night through the neighborhood or some other animal, but as you can expect, others are thinking that it could be that of a skinwalker, a creature in Navajo folklore that is said to be a dangerous witch that has the distinct ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. Looking at this video footage, that description seems eerily accurate. Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.